Hello and welcome back to our air hauler series. I've been away for a little bit, and that's because I had real life work. So I've been gone. I had to do a couple of back-to-back trips, so I apologize for the delay. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So we before I left, I did try to do a short little update video, and I was going to go into just a quick coverage of, where we're at. And of course, when I launched Air Hauler 2, it said that there were updates and that I would not be able to launch my company if I did not perform those updates first. And sure enough, if I ran the app, it didn't allow me access to load my company. And in doing the update, we were taking a really long time, and I had to catch my Uber. So we're back at it, and we've got our company now. We can see that it's available, and we're going to go ahead and load our company in. Now let's go ahead and get it full screen. And loading office template. So I wonder if I could get this changed at some point and do our own office, but it'll be really cool to find out. So I guess at this point, what we want to figure out is how we're doing and what's going on. So down here at the bottom, we got our company cash, 248 grand, no personal cash. So we're making headway, I guess. So before we look at cargo operations and get into actually flying and picking up routes, I thought for this episode what we'll do is we'll kind of look through Air Hauler. I was reading more of the maps. I was reading more of the menu, so I'm staring at maps on the side. And the manual had a lot of information that was kind of neat. One of the things I thought was, hey, where are we at? What's going on? So I guess first up, we'll go to company information. We'll see, in our assets, what do we have? So right here for our bases, currently, we only have KNZY, which is down here next to San Diego. Again, so far how it's built a lot of this stuff, obviously it doesn't send us down here into Mexico. It keeps us up in all this area. So it's a little bit tougher now that I'm looking back, because by being down here, we're flying out and back to base and out and back to base. It might have been smarter to maybe try to be a little bit centralized in this part of SoCal if I wanted to stay in the SoCal area. So I'm thinking at some point we're going to try to find a base up in this region near the Los Angeles area and see if we can find something that gives us some affordable options. That was one thing about KNZY that I liked, was it's right next to San Diego. If some cool stuff pops up there, but it showed some pretty low landing fees. So from a standpoint of our base, our opening cost is 30 grand. We opened it on January 26th. Currently our stock depot, we've got some items there that we had picked up and a little 0.2% in our fuel depot. Currently our commodity storage is 5,000 pounds. We could add capacity, and currently our fuel storage is 5,000. So yeah, so we got some capacity. Tells us a little bit of our base. Currently at that base, our aircraft is not there. So on our last flight, we kind of shut her down at another airport. And so that's where we currently are. We see the commodities that's currently in there. Some watches and Blu-ray players. And hopefully I'll figure out how to sell these. So if I wanted to sell the watches... item sales 152. I don't know, can I increase the price? No idea. And to be honest, I can't even remember what I bought it at. So map and then I guess dispose of. And then of course you can pop up an airport chart, which is kind of nice. It gives a little basic chart, shows us what our airport looks like. And again, we know that there are no approaches anyway. So that's kind of cool. Up top, we could open a base. So drag a column. You must have a pilot. Add an airport to open a base there. So currently we're at KEMT. That's where we are. And if I wanted to at KEMT, we could open up a base there, I guess. No ILS, it has lights, it has one runway. Opening cost would be 95,000. So that's obviously expensive, and a monthly rate of 10.7. 100 low lead is 126. Jet A is 143. So that's kind of neat. If we wanted to open up an extra base there, we could close bases, activate, deactivate, and then I guess export. So that's kind of neat. So looking at our fleet, currently our fleet, we've got one, he's sitting at KEMT. It's our Bonanza A36, our Coronado Bonanza. Now this guy is doing real well, actually. We still haven't damaged it, even with some of those dodgy strips that we've flown into. So we can see what's going on with our unit, its range, its cargo capacity, fuel capacity, and yeah. Currently, I don't think we have any insurance on it, but we could take and cancel insurance if needed. Our condition is great, 100 hours to our A check, 35.7 to go. Currently there should be no cargo and there is no passengers on board. And this is set up in a cargo configuration. I believe we have to be at a base to change our configuration. So currently we're still running as a cargo operation. So when we go to pilots, currently we have no pilots currently, so none to detail, and that's just because we have hired nobody. So no log, no assigned jobs, no passenger sector, and currently no aircraft because, again, we don't have anybody. Now, if we wanted to add pilots, I believe that's in a separate section, and again, we're not, I think, at that point yet where we're allowed to. So looking at our info, this is the part that's important. So your company info, from what I read and understand, this is what we need to drive up still. And the need for driving up this reputation is with this. This is how we're going to be able to get our reputation up to be able to go into leases, be able to hire, and be able to basically grow the airline. It's going to be a little bit difficult. Again, we chose the hardest route. Maybe that was a mistake, not as entertaining because it drags on, but I thought it would be fun to try to do it from the more difficult one. So yeah, so you got your reputation log, overall rep, and how we've grown. So our overall rep, we are up to a 23. I believe we have to have an overall rep of 40 to do hiring. So that's a lot of work to get there. Currently our cargo sits us at 29, so our overall rep of 29, so we're steadily increasing. We have no PAX rep because we've flown no PAX flights, and we have no mission rep. So those are the other events, I guess, that we need to look into. And then I guess if we want to, we can create our own little company logo. I guess I'll have to come up with something eventually to do that so we can kind of look cool. But until then, that's where we're at. So our rep's coming along, but probably not fast enough for this kind of channel. All right, so cash flow. I mean, currently our cash flow, we started out, had to buy up a bunch of stuff, and started with our overhead. So yeah, we're looking pretty steady. Our overhead will stay flat at this moment because we've only got the one base. and our fleet size is small, and we're pretty self-sustaining at this point. But again, it's going to be hard to drive this line and really move the needle if we can't bring on some people. So far, base cost is 27.55. Outgoing last 30 days is 27.55. Income in the last 30 days is 0. So that really does tell you that I have been away. I've been quite busy with the real world. I did log a whole bunch of flights in a couple of days. That is what I backed up to be able to then cut and edit out those videos and post them as I could along the way. But I ran out of the backlog. So that's our financial overview. Looking at our ledger, here we see all of our income that we made. Here was all of our outgoing. So yeah, on February 26th, they dinged us, and that was almost 1 full month after the last flight that I actually was able to log. So that's crazy. I didn't realize it dragged on that far that quick, but it did. So outgoing, they nailed us for our base fees. So that's what dropped us back down below the 250s. So we're going to have to hop back in it and make sure we figure out how to make some more money. On the good news, currently there is no loans. And I don't think I can take out a loan. So if we hit the take out a loan, yep, you need a reputation of over 40% before the bank will consider a loan. So this is definitely going to hold us back a bit until we can really drive that up, giving us the ability to hire the pilots we need to start our personnel or our PAX. I think I want to set up a couple PAX routes just so I can have the company doing daily money, creating some cash flow for us. So until that point, we're kind of stuck. So ATM, we could withdraw deposit funds, so we could move funds from the company account, move that into our personal account, or vice versa, take from our personal account and drop it into our company account. So that's pretty cool. Clear the ledger, export the ledger if we wanted to. All right, so we kind of know now where we are in our finances. Virtual airline, currently I'm not part of any virtual airline, nor have I joined a virtual or have I started one. I think we need to get further along before we can get into that stuff. And you need to own or be a member of a virtual airline to view the worldwide job board. So hiring, please enter your email address to continue. So I guess if I wanted to get hired, this is where I would go and get myself started. But again, I really think the virtual airline side of things I want to hold out on and get into. I think it'll be a lot of fun, but again, there's so much going on just getting our own airline off the ground right now. I don't know, I want to get into that. Now, this one's kind of neat about the factories. Being able to build a factory at your location. So again, do some stock and manufacturing, so we could create stock, we could ship that stock, create a manufacturing queue. There's just so much to build here. It's pretty impressive. So I mean, for your factory, you would need to obviously open a new factory, and you would pick your base, give it a factory name, and I guess we could create things like avionics. So it's going to cost us, the tooling cost is going to cost $200,000, and that's just to create that factory. Maybe for CDs, the tooling cost is a little bit lower, so we could be pumping out some CDs, and then maybe that just is another avenue that we're going to look at for generating revenue. So if we can build some stuff and then deliver that stuff, maybe we'll make higher profit, we'll make more money. But again, right now I'm a little worried to just start investing that way, as I'm not fully confident that that would be my best plan. I think I need to think about it first and just read a little bit more in the manual about how this works and whether or not this is really something we should be getting into, or if we need to just defer this for now, allowing us the flexibility to get our operations up and going so that we can have that reoccurring operations. Again, like I said, because I travel a bit for work, I can be away, like you saw, for an extended period of time and go a lot between where I'm able to pump out a whole bunch of flights and then when I'm actually flying them. And the problem with that in this case would be in the background, the air hauler real life simulation, so to speak, is running in the background. So if I have a whole bunch of days that I miss, I have no idea what that's going to do overall in this in the experience. So for now, I'm just gonna wait. But it's kind of neat. I guess we could open a new factory, and then on the construction side, again, we could build a new construction facility, which we may need to do to create some of the things we want to build. So I guess that'll also allow us to create parts and then, yeah, create aircraft parts. I don't know. That one's going to be neat to get into, but for now, we'll just stay out of it. So when we go to the marketplace, this is where we can see those aircraft to purchase. So you can see what's available. It's out there. We could buy aircraft. We could lease aircraft as well, which would be kind of neat. We'll just have to wait until we get the money. I mean, right now, we don't have much in the way, right? And if we look at private sales, of course, here is the stuff for the used market, and that's where we're going to see these shifts, so to speak, in condition. And so, depending on the condition of these aircraft, you will have a hard time, from what I understand, with the pilots you're going to hire. You're going to have a harder time getting them to fly them if they're not at a certain condition level. And so that can also cause you a problem, that if the condition level's a little low, they go to fly it, they'll pay and spend the money to repair it. And that could also cause some problems with your cash flow. So just something to be aware of and to think about when purchasing this, how I'm going to operate it. But it might be a good place for me if I'm going to buy something like a little bit bigger for doing some of our long haul, I shouldn't say long haul, our other cargo operations. It might not be the smartest place to go to buy something for our civilian, so PAX operations. But maybe we can get away with it. The other thing is based on the quality of your operator, so meaning your pilot, they may do damage to these planes as they take off and land with them. You might be 100% perfect and never break one of your planes, which is awesome. But my understanding from what I read is you are probably not going to see planes stay in 100% condition once you get your peoples that you hire flying your planes, and you may even have to fire some of your pilots because they're not that good. So right now, pilots available to be hired. I can see that there's a couple of pilots available. You can see the type ratings they hold, which would be great because they already hold like a Bonanza 836. They would be able to fly it. And again, you can see what your monthly salary is going to be to one of these people. But again, my understanding is I'm not going to be able to hire these people because I don't have a high enough level yet. So at this point, it's neat to see, but I don't really think we can get into this too much. Again, I need to get a little bit more money. We want to buy one more aircraft. We want to get that aircraft capable of flying some passenger routes and see if we can make some sustainable money. So we're going to find out. We're going to see where this goes, and hopefully we will know more as we get a little further into it. On the management side, we've got our aircraft management. So here, aircraft management, this just allows us to bring in and move the aircraft that we want available from the flight simulator. So in my case, I deleted out a bunch of the standard planes because I have Carenado, like the A36. So get rid of the standard A36 and bring in the Carenado since they were removed from flight sim, plus importing all the other Carenado planes as well as the PMDG 777 and the Caravan. Now I have a bunch more planes that I may import in the future. For example, I may want the Phenom 300. So once we get going further along and we can afford some more expensive planes, I'll probably bring in the Phenom 300 because I'll want to fly that to do some, private flight ops. It's a fun plane to use. Of course, we'll have to make some serious cash before that can happen. Airport management. So again, I guess this is where we can add airports, enable airports, remove from list, scan for co-located airports. This may take 10 minutes to run the first time. Wow. So that's good to know. But for now, we'll just close that out. Yeah, if we go to add airport, enter not KO airport. So this is if we want to disable airports. So we may have a bunch of airports that we just don't want to use. And so we could get rid of them. Surface damage, ignore airports. So here's a whole bunch that have surface damage. So I guess they are being currently ignored. And then I guess we could update list from a download. Cool. So custom airports. We could bring in custom airports. Add new airport, edit custom airport, delete custom airport. So all fields, ICAO, name, country, region, state. Pretty cool. You can make custom airports, and then import scenery. So all airport data, and you can import that scenery. So we're going to go ahead and hit force update, import scenery. So it's going to go ahead and it's going to import that. Awesome. All right, so import scenery. Still updating airports. Update complete. Okay. Wow, that took a long time. Good to know. Let's not do that again. And then we got our options. We got our skin color, our air hauler options. So in this case, whoa, crazy. We're going to change the use in network mode. That way it stops launching P3Dv4 on its own. Override default flight plan path. Not really worried about that. Use John Allard's airport charts. Huh, okay. Map preferences. OpenStreetMap, sure. General options. Nope, because I have my own. Use warning system prompts. Cool. So that's what's been injecting those. Neat. Prevent cabin safety announcement. Don't care. Ask to update fuel consumption figure after flight. Announce SIM messages via text to speech. Huh. Okay, that'd be cool. In-flight menu keyboard. Shift and F5. Okay. Ah, so you can cancel nomad mode if you're done. Neat. Office template, default.zip. Show click zones. That might be helpful. Let's make our airports a little bit bigger. Let's ignore those for now. Yeah, let's do that for now. And custom flight. Okay. We'll save those options. Ah. Cool. Neat. So you can load an image, open existing save, load image, and then add your click areas. Very, very cool. Good to know for in the future. So now we will just continue on our way. All right, so I think if we look at our overview map and let's refresh the current jobs. Let's look at available jobs. Oof. Problem is the weight on that one will be a little too much. But it could be worth it. Make some money. Ah. So let's accept this job. And then Let's accept this job. So we'll fly. We will pick up, we'll fly out, drop off, come down here, pick up, and fly back. And see what we can do about that. Yeah, it's a... Alright, so let's see. So next up, let's look at KNZY. Ooh. Okay, KPOC, we're near. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to accept that job as well. All right, so let's go to our accepted jobs. So this is what we're looking at right now for jobs. So this could be good for us, and it'll give us something to focus on to really try to hammer out. We've only got so much time to complete everything, and it really is something we need to make sure that we're focused on. By picking them up in this order, this will give us a whole bunch of hops, bounce them around, and then get ourselves back on track, trying to create more revenue for the company and get that dollar value bumped up so we can get ourselves going, pick up another airplane and pick up some staff. All right, well, thanks for watching episode 11, and in episode 12 we will get back to hauling some cargo around. I hope this little stop for the overview was good, and it just gives us a little bit more to focus on as we step forward. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.